Hi everyone, it's Wendy. I just want to let you know that my books are open again for personal readings. So if you want to get a reading with me, my current wait list is about 2 to 3 weeks. So you'll get your reading by the end of September. All the information is in the description box. Basically, you just have to email me and we will set it up. I would love to read for you. On that note, thank you so much everyone who has booked readings with me, who has been with me since I started this channel back in early 2019, and all the newcomers as well. I love reading your comments, I love seeing where you're from, and I love connecting with you through the readings and through personal readings as well. So thank you for saying hi, thank you for reaching out, and hell yeah, let's get into some readings. Aries, let's see, we've got 35. All right, Aries, what should you do? Aries. Okay, you've got the Four of Pentacles. Oh, the Four of Pentacles with the Six of Swords. So it really looks like you're not meant to express or release right now. You're meant to hold on to something, save your resources, and keep something to yourself. I'm getting another message about potentially real estate. Some of you might be moving. This Four of Pentacles can indicate real estate, maybe a landlord, somebody who is the keeper of the grounds, so to speak. So a lot of you could be potentially moving, and maybe there's a bit of sorrow attached to this move or a bit of uncertainty. But in a greater general sense, again, it just feels like you're meant to actually keep this to yourself and move on. If there's been a conversation, a conflict, something that you haven't been able to resolve, something where you've not been able to give your last word, your opinion, it's like you really just want to... You've previously wanted to change the situation, affect it somehow. It feels like you've kind of accepted that you can't. This Four of Pentacles might be another person who you are moving away from, so to speak. This person is withholding, they're possessive, they could be quite selfish. You might be sensing selfishness. Just a person who is not very giving. They are withholding instead. And of course, this probably goes to a deep wound that they have, where they have trust issues. But I feel like, and then that could be a reason for forgiveness as well. Some of you, it really depends on your situation. Because some of you may be looking at this person, it's someone you really care about and love, but you can see the wounding in them. You can see that they have trust issues, and as a result, you kind of forgive them. I always call this like my shelter dog card, the Four of Pentacles, because to me it is indicative of someone who maybe has been betrayed, and when you go to the shelter and you see the animals kind of like cowering in the back, and you take them home, and it takes quite a while to establish trust. It takes a little while to establish trust, and so they're very like uptight or closed off. I don't know if there's maybe an event coming up where some of you are like dreading it. I think you'll be okay if you just hold on, kind of hug yourself. It's like you're hugging yourself in the corner, like, oh, this place makes my stomach hurt. It's like a family event where it's just this feeling of dread. Like, what's going to happen, right? There's this feeling in the room where we don't know what's going to happen. Excuse me. And then eventually you get out of there and you give yourself something nice to look forward to when you get home. Like, you revel in that feeling of sanctuary. Maybe a lot of you are having hard days where you have to stick to a rigid schedule, a rigid budget. So make sure that you're allowing yourself these moments of sanctuary, these moments of peace. Indicating transition. You are moving away from conflict. That's really good. You're going toward new shores, new horizons, where you will be received. You will be received in sanctuary and in safety. but it's kind of important. It's interesting. It's like you're changing your method. Aries gets kind of stereotyped as being this like aggressive, kind of angry sign. You know, every sign has kind of its shadow side, I guess. But what I see for you here is maybe a different approach to things, like being wiser and knowing what to keep to yourself. Again, it's not worth giving the energy. It's almost like you're protecting your solar plexus, your energy center, your heart as well. You're very protective. That is a protective body posture, right? When we protect the organs, like we cross our arms when we feel defensive because we are protecting our organs. It's a very ingrained kind of survival instinct. So again, this is either another person's body language or your own. If it's another person, there could be potential for forgiveness, or you just need to go through this and then give yourself sanctuary or something to look forward to on the other side of it, that will comfort you and reset everything, help you recharge. If this is your own body language, again, it's holding on to something and just deciding to keep your cards close to your chest as you move forward. I think you're just a little more secretive with your resources or with your plans, with your moves going forward. It's self-protection. It's grace as well. The way this guy's steering the boat, he's navigating so skillfully that he's able to keep those swords standing upright, which indicates balance, grace, keeping your balance and your dignity as you go through this. Maybe that's why that Four of Pentacles is there too. It's like, you know, that you kind of have to keep something to yourself in this moment. I just feel like you acknowledge where you cannot actually help a situation. So you're kind of sitting back and observing it a little bit more. And kind of this sorrowful, you know, moving on without closure, moving on without fully being able to have seen your impact, but just kind of accepting that you kind of have to move away from it and that maybe you weren't able to impact it the way you wanted to. So there's a bit of like harsh acceptance here, but I think it is more about self-protection for you right now. So I hope that was helpful, Aries. Thank you. Okay, Taurus, we've got 703. Taurus, welcome. What should you do? The Seven of Swords. I don't know if some of you were thinking about career, because I felt like as I was shuffling the cards, asking that question, I heard, what should I do, like, with my life? So maybe that's something coming through. You've got the Seven of Swords. So as action, this is research. This is the behind the scenes work. It's very behind the scenes. I think freedom is important to you right now. This card tells me that you're navigating differently. You're finding some new ways of maybe getting around, or maybe your job is allowing you more freedom. Like as a job, this is somebody who's on the road a lot, who maybe works as a delivery driver, like a courier of some kind, or you have multiple locations that you're kind of in charge of visiting or delivering to. And that freedom really, you need it. You need that freedom. So how can you introduce more freedom, more liberation into your life? I also feel like some of you are getting very close to your ideals, and there's a plan of action. There's something you want to carry out, but you're doing the planning right now. Right now is the planning stage, and who knows when you'll execute. I'm hearing Scorpio season for some reason, and of course Mars is going into Scorpio, so maybe there's some activation there in your partnership sector, but either way, I can't tell. Oh, that's on my screen. Okay. So yeah, free yourself, do things a little differently, shake up the routine, go on a little trip, go somewhere you haven't been before, do something out of the ordinary, because you need a change of scenery, and that's going to give you some new ideas, right? You've got genius coming through here, Uranus, genius breakthroughs, you've got Moon in Aquarius, so it's like detaching, but also detaching enough that you can kind of see something for what it may become. You can follow something to its logical conclusion. You can stand back and observe the results. objectively, right? And not being emotionally attached. The Seven of Swords stays free, is very independent, the card of the activist. Sometimes with this card, it is a little bit of sneaking around. So maybe if there has been some deceptive behavior, maybe that's something you're looking to change. It's really just looking at your motivations and where you've gotten power and why. Like, what does that type of power actually mean, and how does it actually play out in your life? You know, in the moment you think you kind of have the power because it feels like you get away with something, but then later it, like, see how these people in the background are having a meeting, right? It's like they're all gathered at a picnic table and this guy's gone into the camp to take their swords. So they're having these battle plans, but they don't know that their weapons have been taken from them. So maybe you need to do a little bit of sabotage. I don't know. All right, Taurus, there you go. 1025. Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Welcome. Okay, Gemini, let's see what you should do. You've got the Six of Wands. Okay, so the Six of Wands is about doing things the right way, wanting to be a good citizen. It's very like goody two-shoes, following the rules and being applauded for doing so. But there is honor to this, and there's great dignity to this. The way this guy's being celebrated as he returns from battle, he's the victor, and this is someone who really lives from the heart and navigates from the heart. They have a strong moral compass. Like, where do you want to be in service to the world? How can you help? How can you be in service to your community? How can you live, you know, when you just are in a really good place, you feel like you're doing everything correctly, everything's kind of falling into place, everything's kind of where it should be. That's what this feels like. It's just like, I love life. I'm grateful for life. I feel proud of the work that I'm doing. A lot of you could be getting promotions. A lot of you, the advice is to look for a new job or ask for a promotion. This is something that aligns you more truly with who you are and where you're at. So we talk about promotion, but it's not always like moving up to a position where you have more responsibility and more pay. Sometimes it's taking a lower position because you want more free time. It's really up to you, but this is indicating that there's something better aligned with you and it is available for you now. So if you ask for that opportunity, if you go and apply and put yourself out there, you will absolutely get the position. This is really also making choices from that place, from your moral compass. You may have a crossroads ahead of you, and on the one hand, the one path feels like it's very tempting and it like really appeals to this one part of you, but there's something about the intensity that you also kind of know in your gut that's not good. There's just something about it that's not quite right, as like appealing as it may be on the surface. And the other path is one that you may have rejected at first because it was like too good. Again, goody two-shoes. There's something about maybe like your reputation and thinking about what it means to be bad or good, and like why we pursue one or the other, why we want to be associated with one or the other. I will never tell people not to rebel, but I feel like here you're using that rebelliousness for a good cause. So you will be congratulated, you will be received, given the opportunity, offered the job. This is really, really good. So go for it. And I feel like if you return home or you go visit somewhere, you will be well received too. So whoever you're needing to connect with, I think you're going to be well received. It just feels like you're shining right now. Uranus is in your sign for the next like 6 years. So Uranus is going to give you these like beautiful moments of breakthrough and alignment and, you know, I heard industry, but genius. So take those moments and use them to grow. This looks very positive for you, Gemini. Thank you. Okay, Cancer. Okay, Cancer, welcome. Cancer, what should you do? the Ten of Cups. Okay. You should spend time with your loved ones. Two things. There's a social aspect, but also a deeply spiritual kind of personal pursuit in this card. In terms of socializing, yeah, spend your time with family, friends, loved ones, chosen family. Be with people who you love and who fill your cup. Your cups. Maybe you have multiple cups. And it's really important to foster those relationships right now. Cancer is the sign of home and family. So what makes you feel safe? Who makes you feel safe? But this is also your home life generally. It's also your personal pursuits. This is like your vision board. So right now you can envision what you want. I mean, I think it's reveling in the feeling. I think you've already achieved so much, and it's just kind of telling you to enjoy it. Stand back, look at your work, enjoy what you've created so far. But in terms of moving forward, you can have this, you get this blank canvas and you can paint it however you want. If you can envision your ideal life, you cross that finish line, you've achieved everything, what does it look like? What does it smell like? Who's there? What are you doing? How are you feeling? And when you put that on a vision board, or you just kind of get into that feeling, you put yourself into that feeling, then you've already achieved it in a way, and you attract, because it just puts you in the frequency of success. But a success that aligns with you emotionally, like deeply, deeply, truly. So this is your vision board. This is your chance to, on the one hand, stand back and enjoy what you've already created and revel in that beautiful feeling of comfort and family and friends and being loved. But then also, you know, is this all I need, or is there something else? Like, and how would I create that? How can I fulfill that? What does that look like? It just feels like everybody's together. The picture is complete. And I think there's just a feeling of satisfaction for you right now. So it feels like it's more about a feeling than an action, really. It's more about feeling and inspiration for the next steps. That's kind of something that people struggle with when they achieve their goals, because we have this drive to continually be hunting for something, right? It's so biologically written into our DNA. But how can we recognize when we've achieved our goal? What is our goal? Goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time sensitive. Use the acronym SMART, S-M-A-R-T, all those words I just said. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time sensitive, so that you can gauge whether or not you've met the goal. I've really been aligning with this lately in terms of goals, and like, you know, how we have these lofty ideas like, I want to save money, or I want to do less of this. It's not very specific. So how do you know that you're achieving the goal? How are you gaining that feeling of success? If you have a measurable achievement point, then you know if you've met that goal or not. So I feel like you're learning about how to set goals, actually, in a way that allows you to achieve them. But ultimately, it's a beautiful, beautiful card, Cancer. So thank you. 1830, Leo. Hi, Leo. What should you do? Leo, what should you do? Any messages for Leo? Advice, action. Tender, slow approach, isn't it? The cards were shy. I was going to make a joke like, oh, no reading for Leo today, on to Virgo. Just kidding, but I don't know why I didn't. Anyway, gone and said it anyway. Knight of Cups. So your advice is to go softly. go softly. And I feel like this is really about coming through for someone, or someone coming through for you. There seems to be an offering with this card. If you're interested in someone, or if you're in a relationship, there's an offering, there's an invitation. If you're in a relationship, more intimacy, more, admission of feelings, and kind of getting into that romantic side of life. I feel like it's like poetry. It's quite creative, and there's an old-fashioned element to it as well. I heard that Queen song, Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. But yeah, get into your feeling side here. I think there's really strong inspiration, and I heard information coming through. And so you want to be in a position to receive that. Now, keep in mind, right now, you may not have a structured plan. You might not have a structured schedule. This is more about free time and allowing for a little bit of nuance, allowing for some flow, allowing for creativity. However you can flow and create, painting, writing, loving, feeling, exploring. This is curiosity, and allowing yourself that time to explore something from a curious mind. Like, I just want to explore where this goes. In love, in painting, and whatever it is. You're letting it take its own form as you work. You're co-creating with the universe. You have your inspiration, you have kind of where you want to start, and you're gently kind of holding it and carrying it along, but the universe is co-creating with you, and as a result, you may find that you're surprised by the results, or you end up in a totally different place. But really, this card shows us that there's so much to be gained from following. Like, something needs to be expressed, something like creative, emotional, it needs to be expressed. And so you're playing with how that happens. And through the experimentation, you are cathartically releasing, you're creating. So there's quite an energetic strength, but also a softness in that strength. I see community showing up. I see you're showing up for others. Again, that friendship, kindness, love. Let's reach out. Will you take this cup? Will you drink, with me? Okay. You might find you get a little distracted right now too. The Knight of Cups really comes and goes with the tides, but that's important to know because it's acceptance, right? In love, for example, like as a suitor, if you're looking for love, this is like, oh, your feelings might change, or their feelings might change, or it's really strong, and then all of a sudden a couple weeks later, it's like, actually, I'm not sure if I dig this, right? It's, or maybe it grows over time. So it's okay that things change over time because people change over time. Relationships change over time. So give in to your feeling self, add some romance to your life, stop and smell the flowers, lackadaisical lollygagging about. It's old-fashioned. I don't know if you're watching like old movies or you're doing that old-fashioned thing where you go sit under a tree and you write a poem. That's one of my favorite activities. But it looks romantic and it looks classic, Leo. So thank you. 2331. Virgo, welcome. What should you do? You see that? And they landed. He landed on top. You've got the Magician and the High Priestess, which is quite amazing. This is the unity of all that is divine. It's such incredible cosmic power. There's a successful combination of energies where one is behind the scenes, has access to the information, looks at the books, looks at the records, looks at the data, has access to all of the information, the paperwork, and then it's like the research, you know, all that stuff behind the scenes, accessing something sacred and secret. And then we have this magician who is front and center on stage performing. I don't know if you're helping other people with their performances, so to speak, or if you are performing, maybe having, like, acknowledging these, it's like a sandwich where you need that space right before the performance and you need that space right after to get yourself into the zone and then to decompress afterward. So it's like having these doorways that you walk through where you have this in-between space where you're just kind of connecting, saying your prayers and drinking your water, and I'm seeing washing your face in a beautiful old fountain or something, and then walking through, and then it's kind of the magician, all things at once, and you're on and you're electrified, and it's so kinetic and electric and alive. There's a lot of passion in that reading, because I think you're I think you're seeing your results. I think you're seeing that when you are plugged in, connected, you're on, you produce a really beautiful, authentic result that other people see. They connect to it so profoundly. In love, this is a beautiful pairing, just energies that complement one another so, so beautifully. There's solar energy, which is very outgoing, it's very on, it's very visible, it's very let's talk about everything, and let's, you know, sometimes a little bit of oversharing. And then with the High Priestess, it's like the lunar energy where I feel and I'm observing and I'm a little shy and maybe I'm a little more inward, but they work together so well because they complete the picture. There's a ceremony, it's magic, it's unity, it's an absolute match. I feel like you're connecting with the garden of life. And yeah, passion, connection, whatever you're producing right now, it's something that you're really meant to be doing, and you will see results. You will absolutely see results. Sorry for that little interruption there, Virgo, but had to replace the candles, kind of what the cards were telling us. Yeah, really lovely. I think you're going to be seeing results. I think you feel proud of what you're doing. I think this is a good time to bring your ideas and something you've been feeling or thinking about or dreaming of into your external reality. It's time to create it. It's time to make it. And it feels like the universe is giving you the tools to make that happen. You've got all the resources available to you. I think you'll be a little busy. The magician, you know, typically we're busy, but we're in a good flow. We're energized. We're motivated by what we're doing. So it's not like the 10 of Wands type of card. It's the magician. Like, you've got this. So well done. All right, Libra. What should you do? Libra. Strength. Okay. All right, time's call for inner strength, Libra. I feel like it's consistency. Mars is going to move out of Libra and into Scorpio. So that means we are going to lose a little bit of that extra motivation that we've maybe had while Mars has been in our sign. Mars is a really activating planet. It tends to charge us up and motivate us into action. But again, it's changing signs. So it's like, what did you implement during that time, and how can you continue with those good ideas, those good habits, that confidence as you go forward? This is a time, I'm hearing long-term investment. Think about long-term. So how can you discipline yourself in the moment to benefit yourself in the long term? Make your future self happy. Take care of your future self. You want to lead by example also. Strength is about, I'm hearing restraint, self-restraint, not restraint that's inflicted on you or upon you, but self-inflicted, self-restraint, where, again, discipline. Maybe you need to, or you want to change some of your habits, you want to change something in your life. It's going to start, it becomes apparent that the more you interact with something, the more influence you have over it, but that you do have to be hands-on. If there's something that you want to accomplish, you have to set the goal and then make sure that you're achieving it. So you have to set a goal that is measurable, and I want to say realistic and specific. You want to have a goal that is specific and measurable so that you can know when you're achieving it or when you aren't. Because sometimes we have these lofty ideas about goals, like, I want to, like, cut back on something. And that's very loose, where, you know, it's like, okay, I don't want to restrict myself too much, so if I keep it loose, I won't feel like I'm restrained. But it actually requires some structure. It requires definition. You have to define what the goal is and how you're going to measure it. So is it a certain amount of money that you're saving every month? Is it eating more nutritious meals in a day? You know, what is it that you want to incorporate into your life, and how can you start doing that? Inner strength it's an interesting one depending on what you're dealing with in life. I think there's a certain amount of acceptance that I'm seeing in a lot of the cards today for all the signs. There's like, you know, we're accepting that things are as they are, but not being defeated by that, but also not being completely passive or complacent. But this is kind of, it's like something in your life has changed, and you're acknowledging that you have to adapt to that new situation. And so with strength, it does show great resolve. It does show discipline, leading by example, being the bigger person in many of your interactions, where you may want to respond with anger. I think Libras are a great sign associated with this card, because, well, everyone is different, and some people do have tempers, but I find, or tempers that they lose, and they give into anger, they give into more of those like urgent, animalistic, in the moment reactions. You are taking some time to maybe think about how to approach this, or you're responding in a way that you'd want someone to respond to you, or you're trying to just show them through the way you act that that's the way to act, right? You've got dignity, you have respect, you're poised. And hopefully, you know, the other party can see that and take something from it. But strength also teaches us that we can't always perfectly control other people or situations, that as much as we may want to make something better, ultimately people have to change because they want to change. So for you, I see that you want to change, you're motivated, and you're going to be successful. But there's also an acceptance that some things can't change, so you're taking your power back into your own hands a little bit by giving it only to what you can influence, right? And you're not giving your power away to things that won't receive. It's not about power, and like as I talk about power and control, it's not about exerting control over someone else. But it's seeing a situation where you see it objectively and you see the solution, but the person or the people involved don't want to follow that because they just are stubborn or whatever. So that requires a great amount of patience. Being patient with yourself also as you master this skill. You're mastering something, And it takes patience, it takes discipline, it takes constant effort. There could be a new pet. Sometimes I see this card when people adopt new pets, and it's like, I have to work to establish trust with you. I have to establish routines with you, right? It's like you're starting to implement structure somewhere to something that may have been chaotic or animalistic. And again, the more that you show up consistently, the more you'll see the results. So you will see the results, Libra, but it takes patience, it takes inner strength. What does strength mean to you? You know, a lot of people say, I wish I had the strength to do that. And it's frustrating because they very often do have the strength to do it. They just don't want to. So again, it's that thing where we can only change if we want to. We can only really do something if we want to. And, you know, let's not use measures of strength as excuses either. So maybe there's some accountability there. Thank you, Libra. Okay, Scorpio, what should you do? Scorpio. 3 of Wands. Stand back and look at your work. It's time to take a class. It's time to invest in something because you want to learn. You're meant to go into observation mode right now, to stand back and look at something or be in a position to receive as well. So put yourself in a position to receive, because what you've invested in is coming back to you. You're going to get the results. You're going to get an answer. You're going to get some extra money. This is a really good money card. Opportunities, love interest, someone, something, a lot of things maybe coming your way on that big shipment that you're about to receive from the universe. Do you have room for all of that in your home? Do you have room for all of that in your heart? 3 of Wands, yeah, you're about to receive, Scorpio. So be grateful, I'm hearing. Gratitude. Observation. Maybe being a little hands-off right now in order to see the blessing when it arrives, or you're able to be hands-off. I think a lot of the work has been done, and I think that now is a time to revel. Cancer had a similar message, so I wonder if maybe there's Cancer, Scorpio, Cancer, classic, of course. So you've got similar energies there. Yeah, it seems like someone is coming toward you, so get ready to receive. Be ready to receive. I was going to make a joke and say, empty that bank account so you can fill it back up again. Don't do that. 3 of Wands. Yeah. It's manifestation time. Everything, you're going to see the growth. You're seeing the expansion. You took a chance in the past. You took a risk. You invested. You put yourself out there. You chose a path. You might have been at a crossroads. You chose a path. And interestingly, I'm noticing it looks like he's wearing a mask. I'm almost seeing like one of those old-timey Halloween masks on the side of his head. Strange, I've never seen that before in this card, but I was watching old witches horror stuff this morning, so maybe that's why. And he's got armor on, but he also has his robes of success. So it's almost like he is disguised, right? He's got armor. So from a distance, you don't recognize that this person is a soldier, but then you get up close and you realize, oh, he's prepared under there. He's got the armor on under there. It's 1:11 on the clock, and it's September 11, so 11/1/11. Angels. Yeah, be ready to receive. The messages are coming through. Abundance is coming your way. Love, interest, but also standing back and admiring all of it. Ooh, I just got a strong smell of water, like a pond. It's not a lake. It's a smaller body of water. It does feel kind of stagnant in a way, not in a like toxic way. It's a place of stillness. And there's a certain ecosystem to that stillness where things can thrive. It's a pond with, there's algae. There's a whole ecosystem, but that's what I'm smelling, is the algae of a pond. Like you're on the bank of it. I see you on the bank of a pond. Are you looking at your reflection? Are you gazing out, just meditating in nature? Kind of seems like you've got a place with a view. Some of you could be climbing mountains. Some of you could really be reaching altitudes, geographical, topographical altitudes, and taking that moment to just look at the scenery around you and go, how spectacular. How many people see this? Because I feel like I'm seeing everything from bird's eye view right now, and I don't think many people get that opportunity, so it's pretty amazing. Just seeing the world, it's kind of like hiking really, really early in the morning, like right as the sun is rising, and you see the world starting to wake up. You see the vehicles, the delivery trucks, the bakeries, you see the industry, you see everything kind of starting up and in motion, and how beautiful it is, how organized the chaos really is. And you think about logistics and how people are able to execute that. It's so impressive. It's so impressive. Logistics could be something you need to look into right now, but I feel like it's just appreciating. It's the artist in me, right? So I see things a certain way. I have this certain sensibility. It's kind of, I know it, like I romanticize things, but I think we need to romanticize our lives and romanticize the world around us. Sagittarius, welcome. What should you do? Okay, before I even open my eyes and I see what this card is, you all can see it, I can't see it. I'm seeing a living room on Christmas morning. I'm seeing the tree, I'm seeing a fireplace, I'm seeing slippers. It's very classic, but I think what, the feeling is really a feeling of being at home. I don't know, is it 10 of Pentacles or something? Is it something within the home? Maybe the Four of Wands, but it's more like an armchair kind of sitting in this room. Yellow striped wallpaper. I know your birthday happens right before Christmas, and I'm sorry that I'm associating you with that, because I'm sure you've gotten it your whole life. I'm sure you're sick of it, but there's something about that beautiful moment of, it's the symbolism of the peace, right? Christmas is like the one day where everything is closed. You get the day off, unless you have family obligations, but you've got the day off and you're relaxing, you are just kind of cozy and safe. The nine of Cups. Yeah, it's just such a nice feeling. Such a nice feeling. So what can you do? What should you do right now? You can feel it, enjoy it, be grateful. This is about wishes, making wishes from a soul place. Like, what is it that you have been aching for, yearning for, needing at a soul level, because the universe is giving you that now. The universe is giving you something that aligns with your little world. And I don't mean to say that in a condescending way, but it's like your little secrets, your little world, your things that are all just for yourself, right? And it's like my little drawer, I don't know, but something just for you. There's a bit of indulgence with this. Could be a warning, right? Sometimes be careful what you wish for, don't overindulge. But he's the wish granter of the tarot, so I think you can do some magic, you can work to manifest something, and it will align. It will come through if it's meant for you, truly at a soul level. I'm seeing nourishment, like a smiling Buddha, happy belly type of thing. Maybe a lot of you are kind of considering, like thinking about consumption and what it means to be fulfilled, and you're really looking at your emotional responses or your emotional reasons for doing something, indulging or engaging with something, and what is it fulfilling? What is it saying? Is it really truthful? I'm getting something with a science experiment, the Nine of Cups. Like I did see something with a science experiment, potion making, perfume making, candle making. I'm hearing it's okay to make a mess. Candle wax is the bane of my existence. I need to. I love taper candles, candlesticks. But man, when they start to melt and drip over the sides and then you don't realize it and suddenly you look back and there's like wax spatter everywhere. Ooh, that feeling of something being out of control and so messy that you can't really clean it. But it's okay to make a mess is what this card is saying. Maybe set up a space where it's okay to make a mess. So there's a contained space to be totally free and expressive. The Nine of Cups is very indulgent. It can be very sexual. It can be very... I don't know. It's just... I'm not going to say much more. It's those little things that we do that are just for us. And I realize how that sounds coming from what I just said. But yeah, I mean, it feels like you don't... That was the thing with the room I was seeing, was like, I don't know if there were other people in the house. It just felt like it was just kind of you. And some people might think that's very lonely, but it didn't feel that way. It was actually very cheerful. Maybe you were making space to receive people. But it felt like you had achieved something. It felt like you were content. It felt like... The person I was seeing too was a little bit older as well, so a little more achieved, a little more progressed. I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of witchcraft with this card. Every time I... Thank you, Sagittarius, for humoring me. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn, what should you do? The Queen of Pentacles. Okay, Capricorn, here's your card. What should you do right now? Focus on your budget. Focus on your routine, the details of daily life, to notice where things are out of control and where you can change things to reach the goals that you have. I'm seeing nourishment as well, something, or exercise, but yeah, nourishment, meal planning, vitamins, just really taking care of yourself. Maybe you're taking care of someone else right now. But the Queen of Pentacles gives care. She gives care. She sits beside you and gives care. So this is somebody that is by your side. And I paused because I saw a little thing kind of float off. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but It was probably just a cat hair, but it looks cool on camera because it's like, what was that? You know, it's symbolic when we talk about, so it's like a feather, like an angel kind of by you. Quite lovely and reassuring, much like the Queen of Pentacles. You're dependable. It's really about care and making sure that not just yourself, but the people around you are cared for, nourished, you know, taking care of them in ways they maybe can't for themselves. In a bigger way, like if you have a goal that feels huge, break it down into little pieces. I'm getting for the collective for this reading that I'm doing, like many of the readings have been about acceptance and goals, and it's very, to me, that says it's very pivotal. Like the eclipses probably have a lot to do with it. We're accepting that certain things have kind of ended, or we're leaving them in the past, and now we're starting to do, or like we're accepting also where we made mistakes in the past, and now we can start fresh with new goals and move forward. So I think that Virgo eclipse on the 21st is going to be pretty empowering for a lot of us. We're feeling that change, that shift. How can I make my life more manageable? All these things I have to do. Your schedule is really important, your routine, noticing the details of every day and how you can actually make time to do the things you want to do, even if it's only half an hour. You know, give yourself the time because it's important to you and it will contribute to your betterment. I don't know if it's a pet, if it's somebody who can't really advocate for themselves, so you have to really pay attention and notice where someone might be acting a little differently, where they need care. I think that's important. Some of you could be considering jobs or roles, maybe in healthcare, you know, the helping professions. You like to be hands-on. But this is also about activating your earthy, sensual side. And how can you connect more with that? It's really about connecting deeper to the sensual, kind of material aspects of life. The foods you make, you know, taking the time to savor, taking the time to really feel and smell and be and experience. Take care of your garden, take care of the animals, take care of the land. You are kind of, I feel like I heard Mother Nature's son, Mother Nature's heir. You're a warden of the land. So there are a lot of little beings, I think, who might be dependent on you. You represent this provider, this abundance. And so you're fulfilling that role. But make sure you're doing it for yourself as well. But I like seeing the Queen of Pentacles, and especially for you, I feel like this just means you're right where you should be. You're you know, acting true to your nature. You're doing your life's work, kind of thing. So it looks really good. Okay, Aquarius. Aquarius, what should you do? The Chariot. Hit the gas and go for it. Your advice is to go for it. The universe is giving you a green light. Go faster. Charge toward it. Be confident. Go for what you want. Introduce yourself. The Chariot. There's an emphasis too on strengthening your body. So working out, whatever you can do to feel empowered in your physical vessel. If you have Capricorn placements or you're a Capricorn cusper, they had a similar message about the body, so maybe check out that reading too, but similar message. But yours is quite divinely guided. And it's showing up through music and through strength and through maybe driving. There's signs as you're driving. Or just the clarity that you get from kind of being in motion. It doesn't mean you're behind the wheel in a car. A lot of people don't drive. But just this feeling of momentum, this feeling of I'm moving toward my goals, I'm confident, I've got this, I'm steering, you know, my life path is before me and I'm choosing it. I'm choosing myself, I'm following my path. and I have a lot of momentum. I've got some speed, I've got some gas, like I'm going. It's a really strong card, so go for what you want. Yeah, strengthen your body. Music is very powerful here as well. You might feel divine connection when you listen to music or when you write music. Only the heavens are above you, Aquarius. That canopy of stars means only the heavens are above you, so nothing can stop you. You're unstoppable. There's a way for you to combine both influences as well, right? We talk about the duality in this card, the two sphinxes, kind of opposite but complementary because they work together. So unity. Someone who complements you could be a love partner, could be just a business partner, but somebody who really complements you well, and you work better as a unit. You work better as a team. So partnership might be the next step. Collaboration could actually be the next step. I'm also seeing house, real estate. Maybe you want to move. Travel is there. So there's a lot of movement generally in life, and you're feeling pretty in control. And you know, what do you need to do to feel in control if you don't? All right, Pisces, what do you need to do? What should you do, Pisces? Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. Capricorn had this as well. So I don't know if you're dealing with a Capricorn. Maybe there's someone that you're both taking care of who needs extra care. But this is really about honoring your daily routine and looking at the details of daily life. Like, oh, I actually could fit in half an hour here. Or I actually could, you know, accomplish everything I want to do. I just need to make sure that I schedule it. So really taking advantage, like scheduling, taking advantage of your day. Schedule stuff. Set alarms on your phone. I do that all the time. Take your vitamins or go do this, like if I need a little reminder, and then I make sure that I do it. So having the checklist, the to-do list, the schedule, the routine, and the more that you make time for this, it becomes second nature to you, and then it doesn't feel as rigid. It's just like, okay, time for my morning run or whatever it is you want to incorporate into your life. Now, the Queen of Pentacles also really is about nourishment. So make sure you're nourishing yourself, taking care of yourself. That's meal planning, right? It's like, I'm working so much and I've got all these responsibilities. How can I have time? There's tons of ways to nourish yourself. Easier ways as well, whether it's meal planning or doing a little bit today or just taking supplements. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can get nourishment, but that is important. Your bodily health is really important right now. Sexual connection, sexual energy, intimacy with a partner is really important as well. Queen of Pentacles is very in her body and connected to the sensual experience of life, the material experience of life. Really, it just comes down to taking care and being consistent with your routine, being consistent with, of course, Saturn's gone back into your sign in September, so it's a little bit of a, it's like, ah, here it comes again, here's that lesson again, but also it teaches us to have some discipline, because discipline and scheduling creates predictability. And for a sign that can be overwhelmed, I'm a Pisces moon and a Pisces midheaven, so I'm not just stereotyping you. There can be a real feeling of being overwhelmed. So scheduling is a great way to do that. And again, like doing a little bit every day instead of like, oh, my house needs a deep clean. Oh, Saturday, I have to clean my whole house from top to bottom. Well, maybe you can do a little bit every day, or maybe you do like one task per week, right? You don't have to make it this huge, daunting, scary thing where it's like the be all end all, the Saturn, like the end. You can make it step by step, whatever works for you. It's about finding your own rhythm, finding your own pace. But it's reassuring because it does tell you that there is a way to fit in everything that you have to do and want to do. You just need to really pay attention to how much time and resources you actually have and make the most of them. Some of you could be getting a new job. Connecting, you know, it's Earth. We're approaching the fall equinox in Canada. It's harvest season, and it feels like it's harvest season for you too, Pisces. There is abundance around you. And I think as much as you are working, it's also appreciating everything that you've accomplished up to this point. So go slowly but surely. You can do this. Yeah. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for watching.